Okay, well, greetings my YouTube people. This isn't a review. This is like a little discussion thing. But obviously it's just me one, so it's not really a discussion, but it's just kind of some information and stuff. And if you want to comment back, feel free to and start discussion. It is of course centered around the electronic cigarette, or more so the ingredients. This one is a 70% VG, which is vegetable glycerin. Something that you've probably heard about in the news, along with propylene glycol. But we'll start with vegetable glycerin, because even though it's been in the news, people, when they're seen with the electronic cigarette, they're always asking, boy, I can take them chemicals, man. You don't even know what's in there, but you do. There's more time, a mix of propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, a little bit of nicotine, and some flavouring, which again contains propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin, as well as usually some kind of natural flavouring. And my nose looks a bit strange on this camera. I don't know. But yeah. So, obviously, everybody's always banging on about these chemicals. And on TV, in their war against the electronic cigarette, they love to throw out these random things like, this is car antifreeze, this is used in something else that sounds scary. It does sound scary. And so I've been doing some research. That one that we just tried that you saw all the vapor of, that was vegetable glycerin. Now at some point it was antifreeze, but only part of it, only a slight part. They used it in antifreeze because it lowers the freezing temperature of water. So logical sense, put it in the water, stop it from freezing. But when they say antifreeze, it sounds scary. They don't also say it's found in virtually every sweet that you buy. It's found in chocolate. It's found in most cakes. It's a preservative in most foods that you buy in a supermarket because it helps keep them moist and fresh. Yeah, as I said, it's in sweets, it's in food colouring, it's in most soft ice creams. So it's in virtually everything. Even though you don't use an electronic cigarette, or maybe you do, you still have an intake of vegetable glycerin, and quite a lot of it, depending on what you eat and drink, quite a lot of it, it's in soft drinks. In terms of medical stuff, it's in whole heap of stuff, whole heap of things, from cough mixture to injections to everything. It's also in most toothpastes, it's in most mouthwashes. So either way, you're taking in vegetable glycerin, it ain't doing you no harm really. If it was, I'd have thought there'd be a lot of sick people by now. So that was vegetable glycerin. And I suppose on one hand, yes, at least it's naturally occurring. So it's not man-made to an extent. Obviously it's kind of produced, but it's natural. This one in here now, this is 80% PG, which is propylene glycol. As you can see, this one makes less vapor, but it's got more flavour and a little bit of a throat hit, and that's why it's used. The vegetable glycerin creates lots and lots of vapor, but it isn't that good at bringing over the flavour in electronic cigarettes or vaping, if you want to call it that. Whereas the propylene glycol doesn't produce as much vapor, but it really brings out the flavour. But again, propylene glycol, this is the man-made chemical. This is the one. Again, it's antifreeze. It's used in jet fuel. Rare. And they tell you all this to scare you. But then, at the same point, they don't tell you that it's used in most artificial sweeteners. It's used in sweetened coconut. It's in virtually all chewing gums. It's found in chocolate bars. It's found in the flavouring essences that you put in cakes. It's in virtually every children's medicine. So again, it's one of them ones that if it was really that bad, would they be giving it to feed down your children's neck when they're sick to make them better? Would it be in your chewing gum? Has your chewing gum done you any harm? I don't know. So yeah, this is just, as I said, open discussion. Comment back if you feel to. It was just basically to point out that, yes, on one hand, they could, in theory, say, this is antifreeze. But then on the other hand, they're not saying, this is the chocolate bar that you're probably eating right now while you're watching this news on TV where we're telling you that this is antifreeze. So it just kind of shows the stupidness of their stories, their scare tactics. Where, again, I think the most scariest thing to them, this is not taxed as tobacco. That's why they're on it. But yeah, anyway, people, I'm going to leave it there. As I said, open discussion. There are other chemicals in here, nicotine. I'll leave that one to another day. But again, it's not as bad as I want you to think. But yeah, take care and I will see you in the future.